Hello, motherfuckers. Welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphreys on the Road. Thank you very much for tuning in to our admittedly subpar podcast. But the banter is sometimes much higher than that. But let's be honest, it's a hit or miss at this point. You're in here for the fucking long haul. This is a particularly good episode, and I say that with confidence because I had half a bottle of wine and a pint during it, and I think I was on pretty good form, to be honest with you. We ranted about left-handed people. We ranted about left-handed people and daylight saving times. And look, here's just a little... this isn't a fucking trigger warning. This is just an explanation. Sometimes when I have opinions aggressively because I think it's funny to very, very strongly have an opinion about something which is very unimportant, at least in your head. And I've realised that sometimes to our newer listeners, that might come across as me being genuinely angry. Please, for the love of fucking God, take every rant I have with a pinch of salt and 4 fingers of whiskey, because that's what it took me to get to them. I just rant about shit. We speak about Kai's doggy park and vapes. And I mean, it's just a good episode. I laughed fucking heaps and only slurred my words about 3 or 4 times. So, so whoever does the subtitles, thank you for your hard work, and you're still not being paid. Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Just muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
I've just been listening to your podcast with Cullen.
Oh.
I mean, I've been listening to our podcast, but I wasn't on it.
Oh, yeah.
And, I get it. I see why people listen to it.
Oh, was it good?
You know what? It's like, it's mildly entertaining and you're not learning anything. It takes no brain power. It takes absolutely zero brain power. I'm like, oh, great. I just get to idle my brain.
Yeah, brain chewing gum.
My brain is idling.
Yeah.
And you know what? The fucking the drive. I'm normally talking to Matthew. Text it. Listening to what do we listen to? It's good. Stuff you should know.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Matthew always listen to stuff you should know on the journey. And it fucking... I'm trying to tune into it, and like sometimes my brain tunes out and I tune back in, I'm fucking lost.
Yeah.
I'm like pausing and asking Matthew what it said now.
Because those podcasts, if you don't listen for 4 minutes, you've missed 50 years of history, 2 minutes of a pseudoscience explanation in order to get people up to speed with the article they're currently talking about. Man, you could smash your headphones while listening to this podcast, let it continue to play, go buy a new set of headphones, sync up to your phone, join in 45 minutes later and being like, I've missed nothing.
I've missed nothing. You could be working on a building site and then you fucking take an angle grind out of a bit of metal or something, right? And then once you've finished cutting through the steel girder, you'll be like, really?
Are you not going to
miss a goddamn thing?
Are you not going to rewind what you said there? Sloss just called a bunch of people psychopaths for no reason.
It's a treat for yourself, isn't it? It's like, even just like a bar of chocolate or something. What nourishment did you get out of that? What nutrition? Note. But was it nice? I feel good.
You know what? I think chocolate bar's too generous because there's some real nice flavour to there and it can be filling. I think candy floss.
Stick a rock.
Like when you pay attention to it, you're like, yummy. But you can you're not full after candy floss.
Yeah, you just have to get yourself a bit of a.
That's a good question. I wonder if you know how you remember back in 1999, the greatest book of all time was the Guinness Book of World Records. That was if it was in your school library, all you did, go look at the long-nailed bitch, go look at all the come with the tattoos, go find out what's the furthest somebody ever threw a hedgehog.
That's how I knew Alan Nash was the tour wrestling champion.
Was he?
And then he retired the other week, and weirdly fucking, how Marlena just occasionally just shares random shit with you that she thinks you'll like, right?
No. Marlena will, despite having been witnessed the process of me writing 10 shows. Marlena has seen me write, in fact, all of my shows. So Marlena has seen me write 12 shows. She knows my fucking process is it's whatever in my head, that's what I'll fucking do. She will still just send random funny articles being like, this could be a good bit of material. And I'm like,
she's trying to stimulate her.
Yeah, I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing. I get it. But it's like a zookeeper going, are the pandas not doing anything? No, I've brought my 2 kids along with me. Give me 2 seconds. And just jamming a thumb up the panda's ass. Did he do something?
Aye. He looked vaguely annoyed. So she's like, I find it really endearing me. I find it quite nice.
I'll always read the articles. And sometimes it's funny, but there's no part of me that goes, I'm going to turn this into material.
She sent me one the other day again. I don't want you to miss this, and it was a picture of C-3PO with a Solero. That's what it's called, isn't it? The umbrella that keeps you at the sun.
When you said Solero,
lollipop,
orange ice cream with mango through the middle. That's what Solero is to me.
Like when fucking waiting for that sandwich shop with the world's best sandwich in Nashville.
Yes,
and they give umbrellas to keep with the sun. They're going to burn up. It was just C-3PO, one of them, but like, which is like a funny picture, right? C-3PO trying to keep cool in the desert, right? The actor trying to fucking stay like he's in loads of gear. He's in the desert. He's trying to keep cool. It's a funny picture, but with. Just in case you missed this, I don't want you to miss. I think it was. I don't want you to miss it. I was like, it's cute as fuck. Like you see what it is. That's adorable.
It always comes from a good place.
It's adorable. Right, but she just randomly the other day emailed Alan Nash, the tour wrestling champion of like 18-time tour wrestling world champion, fucking retires finally. And I remember just
finally all the other tour wrestling champs out there. Finally, we got a shot. We got a shot at the toe ring. We got a shot at the ankle bracelet that we've all wanted to fight for so many years.
Gives everyone else a chance, you know what I mean? I think we're getting into the game now. But I remember, because I kept a diary at the time, and I remember the diary being, this was, I must have been, not driving yet, just started, I'm going to say I was like 16, 17 years old.
Hold on, I've just thought of a shit joke. We'll cram it in. Jose Alto.
Oh, God.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, because his reign was so long. And Jose Alto.
Yeah, that would have been good as a quip. But
yeah,
you're not like...
Edit that in when he says, and then it's...
You're not like clearing the table for it. Guys, like, you should have threw that in and then accepted the one chuckle off like the person that heard it.
Aye. A good podcast would have come up with that instantly, and that's when it becomes those fucking viral clips.
So I remember... I remember my diary being funny because I was trying to make myself laugh when I was writing it, right? Like I remember writing something about like pulling a lass, and she was like, she wasn't massive, but she wasn't tiny, and it was like, she was like somewhere between the size of a normal human and like a vehicle, but like nothing. And I was like, I would put like drones and pictures in, and it was just fucking ridiculous shit like that, right? And I remember I had to write one particular day, and I was like, the only thing that stood out was the day was just this Alan Nash guy just cutting around, just fucking wrestling people with his feet. I was saying he's in the Guinness Book of World Records, and I had a bit of my page to fill, so I drew a foot and a fucking big toe with a crown on it, right? I wish I fucking kept this. I honestly wish I'd kept this diary, right? Because it would have been so fucking like equal parts like funny and creative mixed with cringe as fuck. And I remember I started like dating a lass, and she would like come round to me house and stay hour and that, and just the thought of her finding me witty little journal to myself was mortifying.
Man, it's one of the apparently like the best steps for your mental health. Because I go through, as anyone who's listened to this podcast for any longer than 5 years, I'll go through phases of self-improvement, and then I'll get like 50% of the way there and be like, done. Like I'm out the trenches, all good.
I'm not going to keep the diary going when I'm cool.
That's the bit that always fucking... Cause also with fucking addiction, you're meant to keep it like an addiction diary of like what it feels like fucking every day. And I'm just like, I cannot be honest with my thoughts in a book only to me, just from the pure fucking fear that one day somebody finds it. Like, whether it's Cara, whether it's you, whether it's fucking whatever, and they're just like... Today was a really difficult day, and I'm like, I'm going to kill myself right now. Like, I'm going to break my neck on the fucking spot.
You should always write your diary to the person that finds it. and that's what I think I was doing. And my brother
If
did
Anne
like,
Frank was alive today,
she'd be mortified.
she'd be mortified. Imagine we brought Anne Frank back from the dead and we're like, hey, welcome back. By the way, we beat the Nazis, not early enough for you. But you know what, since then, we actually got some of those, and this is going to sting about, we used some of the Nazi scientists. We let them come to America and they actually were able to bring you back. So we forgive them because they brought you back and they're here to say sorry. But
we know about the lad that was in your annex that you were swooning over the whole time.
Why do you know that? Your diary is one of the all-time greatest sellers.
Aye.
What? Everything ever thought. Not only that, we've turned it into a play.
Aye.
No!
There's a museum.
Yeah.
We've put pages of it on the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
Justin Bieber signed it. And look, I know you're upset now, but when I explain to you who Justin Bieber is, you are, because I'm going to be honest with you, Anne, you're probably a fan. That's what he wrote down. He wrote, I reckon she would have been a believer. Everyone get dead sad. I'm just here to let you know that in the current day, your idol has read your fucking diary. Oh, she just killed herself. We wasted all that science.
And we even found the page where you put a big thing to Alan Nash, the tour wrestling champion, because he had nothing to write that day, because nothing particularly happened. So it was like, in my head was that I wrote, like, I hadn't thought of Alan Nash since I was 17, and then I had an email saying that he'd retired. I was like, man, you blink, don't you? You blink and life passes you by.
You went out and got a pedicure in his honour.
I just couldn't help myself. I just started wrestling the cunt, trying to do my nails. I got some lasses on, buying that back with my foot and just tapping it and that.
And is there anything else I can do for you there at the end of this pedicure, Mr. Humphreys? Yeah, you got any gold to there?
Call out Conor McGregor.
Can you just paint on a wee gold crown at the top of my left toe? Because, wait, hold on. You know how you're left-handed? This might be a stupid question.
Oh, that's such a funny fixation you've got at the moment. I love it.
You know how you're left-handed?
Yeah.
Are you left-footed?
I deserve to die. Yeah, I'd take a penalty with my left foot.
I fully 100%, and this isn't a joke, I mean this sincerely, fully agree with the 1500 opinion that anyone who is left-handed is a witch or some sort of devil worshipping spawn and needs to be killed, because what are you? It's just so gross.
It's such
if
an
you're
odd
a
thing.
normal person, and I don't mind using the word normal here, because normal people are right-handed. It's most of us. It's most of us. So I'm absolutely I would never in front of a disabled person call myself normal, but in front of you fucking freaks,
yes,
here's the line in the fucking sand.
You have found your 2022 safe space for your xenophobia. Comedy unleashed over here. You're like, fuck man, I can't even go after gingers these days. And you're like, fucking lefties, I'll get them. You're like, all right, the tide's going to go out on us, and in 10 years' time, people are going to look back at the things I said. But mate, I think, how is it not just 50-50?
Because it's not natural. Because it's against. Because Satan's touch on this world isn't enough to get all of it. He's only able to corrupt like 10% of people, and those 10%.
You're Christians about the gays. You're just like dated opinion. But like you're doing like a dated opinion about like other marginalised groups, and doing it about a marginalised group if you can get away with it.
They're not marginalised. They should be marginalised. It's fucking disgusting. Why should we have to make separate scissors for you freaks? Right?
We don't care, don't then.
I
know, I can give a fuck. I'd struggle with scissors.
You ever hand a pen to someone, they take it with their left
hand. But they're left-handed and right pens, you don't get... Oh, you do smudge all over the page.
You smudge all over it. It's against God. Like, okay, left-handed Japanese people, fine. And in the same vein...
But does that mean right-handed Japanese people are...
Scum of the earth.
Scum of the earth.
Scum of the earth. Right? Here's what's in my camps. Left-handed Westerners and right-handed Easterners. Get them all in the...
Swap ends, what he's doing. It'll be like Pakistan and India when the Muslims were going one way.
We get all the left-handers from the left, from the west. We get all the right-handers from the east, and we just put them in big, let's not call them concentration camps, but they're camps of a sort where there's a lack of food. And what we do is we just let them all jerk each other off to see if it straightens up all their cocks. I just think it'd be an interesting experiment. Like, you know, if you're a gay right-handed man in a relationship, right, and you've been wanking your entire life, and then you get into a relationship with your boyfriend or your husband who's left-handed, does that take the bend out your cock?
Maybe. You know how people say that if you wank with a left-handed, it feels like someone else is doing it. You'd be like, oh, someone left-handed though.
Cut!
You snap your knuckles back over.
Say uncle! Say uncle!
So that's your commonly occurring rant about left-handed people, but I really want you to rant about clocks going back, please, because I'm on board with this one, and I just want the catharsis of.
I just think it's one of those. It's you know how annoying it is to go to a petrol station and then while you're filling. I mean, I don't know this because I own a Tesla, but I remember when you're in a petrol station and you're filling up your car with petrol and you're bored because sometimes that takes like fucking 2 minutes or what feels like 5 hours. So you just go on your phone to catch up on the internet because you've not been on your phone because you've been driving your fucking car. So this is one of the few 5-minute breaks where you can check your phone. And it doesn't always happen, very rarely happens, but occasionally you've got a job's worth in there who left at fucking 4th year and didn't pay attention in any of the previous 4
the
years.
tannoy come on.
Get off your phone, and you're like, not until you, in a fucking diagram, explain to me what you think fucking happens. Because there's nothing. There is absolutely fucking nothing I can do on this phone that will cause an explosion in here.
Because, you know, like a few seconds ago, I had a motor running. There was spark plugs firing at petrol. The car that I've just got out of.
You sell lighters! I could buy a lighter from your fucking petrol station and walk to my car, and you'd be like, that's going to kill him one day. You're like, maybe today.
It is as if your phone's only fucking zinging Wi-Fi or 3G or whatever the fuck your phone's getting, like even just basic signal. As if that's not happening in your pocket.
It's Christian Science.
It's just you having your hand on it is what makes it fucking fire to life. It's still there, mate. Do you want us to chuck it over the fence? It's still in my pocket doing its thing.
It's Christian Science. It's I know this thing involves science. And I can't explain the science, so therefore the science is dangerous because I can't explain it. That means nobody can explain it. And that's what it is. And that's the same problem that comes out every time there's fucking vaccines. And that's the problem whenever we talk about the environmental issues. People who do not understand science read these 3,000-page peer-reviewed documents and go, well, I don't understand any of that, so it must be dangerous. Or they'll find words that they do see in there, and they're like, well, that there says exponential energy, and I know that means fire. So if a phone creates and it's none of it's fucking logical. For some,
your dad tried to explain it once about how many parts per million it has to be in the air for it to be flammable, even with an open flame. And it would be ridiculous for your phone.
You know
you'd be able to taste it before.
It's a bunch of cunts that watched Zoolander, right? You remember the famous bit in fucking Zoolander where he lost all his friends because they all spray each other with petrol and then one of them lights a cigarette? That is the only reason why people... It's the same reason why people are scared of nuclear power, because in the opening of The Simpsons, it looks dangerous and there was a 3-eyed fish in that episode, and now none of us are allowed to use nuclear energy because a bunch of dumb cunts were swayed by the common opinion of the dumb fucking masses. And nothing epitomizes this more than this 500-year-old fucking tradition that stopped making sense at minimum 100 fucking years ago, which is the clocks go forward and go back. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. What are you fucking doing? Even farmers are against it.
Aye.
Because it fucks up cows.
You've been rounding up the farmers.
Man.
Collecting data here.
Well, no. I'm doing a Cullen here. I scrolled past an article that said daylight savings confuse cows, and I was like,
farmers are pissed off then.
I'm like, hey, that makes my opinion valid because I saw it in the wild from somebody else.
It fucks up the cow's routines, man. I'm just gonna just join in with it.
I just don't fucking understand how as a like, don't be wrong. I would think it would be wrong for the government to come in at any point and just be like, by the way, we're just making a blanket rule for everyone, because that's not how government should work. It would be awful if the government just came around it and they're like, by the way, we take it back. The gays aren't allowed to be married. I would be up in arms about that. Being like, no, you don't get to fucking supersede us and go above that and take away this very important thing to part of the tapestry of the fabric of fucking society. But man, see if Nigel Farage was the fucking Prime Minister of this country, which is very likely considering what is everything wrong with this country. If his first thing was daylight savings is gone, I would be like,
what other policies he got?
Give him a couple more weeks, man.
But it's him that'll fucking kick off with it. It's the same people that want a crown on the pint glass or a blue passport. It's these people that are like fucking like, don't change it. Like we like the thing that we had when we were little, when things were nice. Before I got ground down by the world.
Can you look, or Matthew, you might know since you're smarter than I am. What is the actual fucking point in daylight savings time? Because it's.
But could we just like agree on like a meet in the middle? Just half an hour one day. We just one autumn. We just put it back 45 minutes.
You just have to wake up earlier if you're a farmer. I'm sorry. Winters are difficult.
You didn't realise that. I didn't realise what half an hour was. I said half an hour, 45 minutes.
It was meant to turn the clock ahead with warmer weather and back again with colder weather to prolong the amount of time people can spend outside during daylight hours. It doesn't feel like that.
It's like,
and I feel like the second we invented fire, that should have been gone. The second lanterns were invented, the second torches were invented, the second we had methods of seeing in the fucking dark, fuck off.
Aye.
And also, what daylight during winter?
Also, do you know how many ovens I have?
Now you got to change them.
I got 4 ovens. Right, it's not 4 ovens. I got 2 ovens. I got 2 fucking microwaves.
All of them don't have a clock, no? Do they all have a clock?
They do, and you got to change every fucking one of them. I don't care what farmers have to go through. It does not compare to me having to manually change 4 clocks. And my car. That's not true.
That's not true now.
The Tesla's automatic.
But mate, the fucking... I remember, like, with older cars, you'd have one button. And you're like, I think what I've got to do is, like, dip the clutch and then, like, wind the window down while pressing that twice.
Yeah.
And then that'll start flashing. And then when that starts flashing, you got to put the wipers on at the same time as the indicators to get it
the awful system of, to get the clock to go forward, you had to wind the window anti-clockwise. And to get it go backwards, you had to wind it that way. It was a real nightmare.
I'll win. With the window down. Didn't know how to put it back up. I wouldn't know the time.
But I tell you what, when I drove past those non-tired farmers, I was like, this is worth it.
Sacrifice I was willing to make.
Like, because part of me with it, like, because I hate daylight saving so much, I'm like, is this me being a middle-class fucking piece of shit and going, aren't there farmers out there who go, you know what, this really does make a difference to our fucking life, and this is typical fucking city boy, it mildly inconveniences him, but it massively benefits their side because people in the city don't know what it's like to live out in the country, and that's why... I don't know what the term for the fucking voting is, but that's why farming lands in America, even though it's got less population than cities, still have the same level of vote because, you know, that's such an important part of the country that keeps the country running because it produces the fucking food, and that's why Republicans get votes from all the fucking places in America. I'm rambling. I'm drunk. But is it this? Is this me being fucking sheltered? Is this me going, this thing mildly fucking inconveniences me? And it's actually huge. I just don't see it. I just don't fucking see it.
It just seems utterly pointless. And also, leap years can fuck off. Just let the seasons change. Just let the seasons gradually change. Being class, just one time we're going to fucking summer Christmas.
No, man, do it every 10 years.
That's every 4.
No. I'm telling you, do the fucking clocks forward and forward back every fucking 10 years and be like, guys, we lost it Wednesday. And everyone's like, what? You're like, we didn't change anything with the fucking clocks going forward and backwards over the years. So and also we didn't count the leap years. We didn't do that. So it's been 25 years since the last leap year. I'm just telling you, we all lost a Wednesday. It went from fucking Friday. Sorry, it went from Tuesday, the 5th of February, 2067 to Thursday. We missed Wednesday.
been a
It's the
day.
worst day of the week. Who gives a fuck? We're cancelling it out.
But then I think, this is going to fry my brain, I think you're sending it the wrong way there because you're meant to add a day, but you're taking a day
I'm
out.
not here to implement the app. I'm not here to tell you how the problem's fixed.
I'm just here to yell at the problem until the people above me fix it.
Right, you've got a friend that's birthday's on a leap year, 29th of February, right? Hypothetically.
Oh, right, okay.
It's Cara.
Oh,
it's Cara, right? Do you let the-
because his thing, when you were like, you've got a friend who is birthday on a leap year, I'm like, but I've already got 3 left-handed friends. I can't have any more
Right.
abomination.
Here's
another thing.
That's a 2 left-handeds out for one leap year in.
Yeah. If
Only one of these left-handers is going to
if
survive.
your birthday is on the 29th of fucking February, grow the fuck up. No, it's not. It's on the 1st of March, and you fucking know that. You're not special. You just can't count, and you're so desperate for fucking individuality. You fucking bull. I was born on a magical day that only exists every 4 years. Fuck off. You 1st of March pieces of fuck. You know what? You don't get a fucking birthday. You don't get a fucking birthday. You know what? You know what? Now that you're 18, you are actually only 4 years old. So you don't get to drink. You don't get to fucking drive.
Your
You
lass
don't
is
get
a
to
pedo.
bowl.
Your lass is a fucking
Aye.
nonce, mate.
She goes straight to fucking jail.
Sucked off a 7-year-old.
None of it. I'm not having it.
Leap years can fuck off. Clock's going back and fuck off.
Fuck off. Left-handers can fuck.
How many here? And vapors can fuck off.
Oh, God. Aye. Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Well,
I hated it myself.
I didn't think at any point, because here was the good thing about cigarettes, right? Is cigarettes taste like shit. They don't taste, except for the minis, but even minis, they just taste good for cigarettes.
They're finite. You light it, you smoke it, you put it out.
Cigarettes taste like fucking shit, and you smoke them, but they give you a rush, they make you feel good, they objectively make you cool. There's no,
Give you a moment of contemplation.
yeah.
They give you an excuse to get the fuck out of there. Just out for a smoke, body a chat.
Bye.
Punctuate life.
Sitting down with a fucking menthol cigarette and a coffee after a breakfast on a fucking balcony somewhere. It is all the times in my life where I was like, I have 100% fucking made it. But you get to a point where you go, I know this is bad for me. I don't live in the time when doctors were like, it cures cancer. And you're like, thank you, doctor. Oh, what a well-earned stethoscope you have. Thank you for this. Boy, is it wonderful to be alive in the 50s. We live in the time when doctors are like, it's fucking bad for you. And then it became sort of easy to not smoke. The amount of times, you know how Jean's got a quote book? Mm-hmm. My favourite thing one of my many favourite things that she's done. Jean, whenever we were just all together having laughs as friends, whenever something...
She kept minutes?
She kept minutes. If something particularly funny happened, she would just take a note on her phone, and then when she had free time to herself, in her own little diary, she would write down all the funny things that she or her friends had said.
Like a little script.
Like a little script.
Hi, Daniel,
and some
Jean.
of the things are just 3 lines, some of the things are just quotes, some things are like 5 or 7 bits of dialogue. that take up no
Sometimes
more
just
than
like an out of context, just something that you said. That is a combination of words, it's fun.
Every single fucking year that I'm with Jean, we get these quote books out and we sit there and we laugh because we go, I do remember that. That was the night we did this. We all fucking laugh. We all lose our fucking shit. Why did I start this rant?
Because that's smoking. There was something about smoking in there.
Oh yeah, so in Jean's quote book, right? There was a quote from me at 21 or 22 years old, which was one of the fringes where I'd just taken up smoking. I think you and me and Jimmy had come back from Adelaide, and during that festival, I'd taken up smoking menthol cigarettes again. And Jean had said to me, "You're gonna find it hard to quit smoking." And the quote is, "Anyone that can't quit cigarettes is a fucking pussy. Here's how easy it is. Every time you want a cigarette, don't. Every time you..." That's it. And that was my fucking... And I tell you what, when I was 22 years old, that fucking worked. Because I didn't smoke between 22 and 25 until we went to Vegas again. And started touring in Europe, and you could smoke in restaurants
It's
and
so
stuff.
fucking hard though. Because
You cannot give up flavoured cancer, man.
Because this is what happens to me, right? I get back from, we've just been over to Ireland, right? Get back from Ireland, I'm back home, I'm tetchy for a day or two, I'm off the vapes, because I'm just like, anytime you get one of them urges that you want it, just say no to yourself, right? And I'm like driving up here and I'm like, oh, Danny's probably going to be vaping when I get there. You just need to fucking pass it up. Just like, he's not going to offer it, so just watch it, let it go. And as soon as I saw you with the vape, I was like, "Gives you a vape, man." I was like, "I'm sucking dick. I got these cheeseburgers, man." I'm sucking dick for vape.
Like these-
I need a restraining order from vapes to fucking stop us hitting them.
This new fucking thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm so glad that
I'm
alive
ashamed
when
of
this
myself
was-
with it.
This was then.
39.
But these new fucking like Elf Bar, these disposable flavored vapes are so dangerous on 1,000 different fucking levels. In the fact that these are the worst thing for the environment. In a time when we're like,
You can't
we
ban
need to
plastic
clean-
straws and then just
Man,
give everyone disposable batteries.
You cannot turn Crayolas into cherry flavored smoke machines, right? You've just got adults like me, grown adults, walking around being like, "Have you got any Crayolas on you? I got blue, green, or red. Oh, I fancy red today." And adults who drive cars and pay taxes just sit
of
smoking
children.
these tiny, like just a bunch of crayon fucking chewers, like we're in the lowest ranks of the fucking army, just like, like, and then we get rid of it in the bin, and it's in the bin with everything else. These are going to go into the fucking ocean. I think, I mean, you and me have spoken about this extensively, Matthew. These vapes, I fucking promise you, will be illegal in the UK in under a year.
Aye, we're
There is-
going to laugh about it like.
No,
We're going to laugh.
But then
There's going to be a
fucking-
black market.
India's going to get it, man. Like all these countries that
Then
don't
the-
have the same rules that
The
we.
landfill of the
No, I just mean
of
this-
a country with 1 billion people
I
vaping.
mean, in the sense, the one thing I've learned from our mother doing all of the work with environmental stuff around the world, which is it does not matter what you impose on first world countries and what, like, we've got to this level of understanding and we understand that coal's dangerous and oil's dangerous. So we're going to encourage, like in Scotland, if you buy an electric car, half the price for getting the charger installed in your car is there. There's funds to pay for you to have it. We'll give you money for
We're
training.
leading the way, but unless anybody follows, you're
But
fucked.
man, unless
Yeah.
you fucking implement the same fucking shit in the poorest countries in the world, you're changing nothing in the world. And that's the problem there as well. And I hate to sound like I always sound like a fucking lefty liberal piece of shit. But until the world's united, nothing will change. Because when the first world do something, after 10 years, it might bleed down into the second world countries. And then maybe after 70 years, might get to the third world countries. So even if Scotland bans these, which they will within the next fucking 7 or 8 months, because Scotland's kind of got its finger on the pulse, and we're like, hold on. People buy 4 batteries a day, smoke them, and then throw them in the regular bin. And then, like, that's unsustainable. But you'll always, man, when we were in Switzerland, what did you do?
I bought minties
You bought minties.
because you're allowed to buy minties.
Because you're allowed to buy
I bought a
minties.
fucking sleeve of the cunts.
We've never bought a carton of cigarettes in our fucking life. That's for scumbags. But the second it's illegal somewhere and legal somewhere else, you're like, well, I'm obviously going to do
That's admitting you're never going to quit if you're buying sleeves of cigarettes because you can save a couple of quid. You always think your next pack of cigarettes is your last one.
Yeah.
You're always in a constant, perpetual state of quitting. If you're buying cigarettes for future you en masse. On a superficial level, the worst thing for me about vaping is if you're vaping and one of your mates comes out and lights an actual cigarette, what are you doing? Isn't that nice?
I don't know, but I bet it looked cool.
I look like the worst early onset midlife crisis I've ever seen. To the listeners, he multi-vaped.
Hey, and if there's any other bad boys or girls out there that want to hang out after school,
Aye.
I know how to ride.
Aye, but boys and girls, you only did 2 rookie numbers. Matthew, give him yours. Triple up on the
I've done
multi-vape.
5 before as a joke.
Yeah, we're fucking wild on this podcast this thing. And there's a lot of podcasts who don't, any of them doing this.
For the OCD people, I'll change the colour order so it looks aesthetically pleasing.
There we go. Fucking play the panpipes.
You get a decent head rush if you do multiple.
That's all right. Look at this family. Family.
I've only done it once.
He's got about 7 or 8 nicotine patches up his arm, this cunt.
I remember so very specifically when my mum discovered my weed stash when I was about 17 years old because she's cool and she did the right thing. She didn't yell, she wasn't upset. She did the thing of just being like, hey, what's this? And I was like, it's weed, to smoke weed because I smoke weed. And she was like, okay. I don't necessarily agree with it, but just to let you know, I think you should be careful because addiction runs in this family, right? Addiction, it's not bad addiction. We don't have any family members that are heroin addicts, but mum's side of the family are boozers, and not bad boozers, man, they can.
But they hate it.
Yeah, functional fucking boozers can put it away. And I remember her being like, addiction runs in this family, and I'm like, Mum, I'm stronger than that.
And here you are, sneaking away from your wife and kid in your little shed to multi-vape.
Man, I can hear Cara's pussy dry up every time I vape.
And that's really noisy when that happens.
Well, first of all, the echo.
I know. It's like a strong gust of wind past a pile of leaves.
And I just can't. It's so fucking disgraceful to me because this is where I understand. Like, look, the government shouldn't be fucking stopping us to do things. Here's where my hypocrisy 100% lies. I think the government should make all drugs legal because the war on drugs is over and it's not going to be fucking
mandatory. I think everyone should have a can of all of them.
First year of high school, you could try weed.
It's like jury duty though. You've got to let Ivy Mal get a letter in the post going, I've got to go and try mushrooms. 12th of November.
And your dad's opening his mail and people are like, God, I hope we got to go together. Oh no, you've got to go do mushrooms with that neighbour you hate. And she's like, fucking hate Karen. She comes back 4 days later.
Fucking love Karen, mate.
Karen's moving in. Well, I say that. We're all moving together at commune.
It's a commune, doors are open.
I think the government should make drugs fully legal and they should be taxed because I think why lose all this money to
massive revenue stream that isn't being tapped. And we should be enjoying that.
Scotland,
as drug takers, it should be like
Scotland could have independence comfortably, in my never studied economics in my entire life opinion, but have read 3 articles on what Colorado did with the legislation of marijuana. Scotland could become a full independent country if the first thing they did was when marijuana's legal.
Dispensaries.
Oh
man, the tourism.
Man,
you'd fucking be gutted. You haven't thought this through to its conclusion, the amount of English people that would come to Scotland.
No. Because here's the thing, with all the money it brings in, we can build a really high wall. we can just cut it off. We can build extra airports.
I can't get Newcastle games because of the weed. Fuck's sake, man.
You get down to Berwick and there's just one guy in a speedboat being like, I'll take you around the wall. But I heard they built it 50 feet into the sea. Aye, they did. And they put a wave machine at the end of it because they're bastards.
You know what? I had.
But sorry, so to phrase that, I think the government should make marijuana 100. All drugs legal, should be taxed, should be fucking controlled, should be done in the same way that we do with alcohol. You're not going to stop people taking drugs that they want to take. If you want people to stop taking drugs, make their quality of life better. That's the only way to do that. And using the tax from the drug revenue to improve the quality of life of people by sinking it into the bottom area of the system might be the one attempt that we've not done to end addiction and drug use. I think the government should do that. But I also think the government should just be like, these are all banned. And we're like, but why? Because you're all smoking coloured paints. And just to let you all know, it's dangerous, it's pathetic. Like, you lads, people used to smoke tar. They used to smoke fucking dried leaves, and you're out there smoking Coca-Cola. You don't get to enjoy cancer.
Yeah, you're taking in syrup.
Yeah.
Mate, I hate that. I tried to say before when if you're having a vape and one of your mates just pulls out a deck of cigarettes and has a cigarette with you, it just shows you up. I'll just be there with my vape can. Should just commit to smoking. If I'm going to do it properly, don't do this fucking half-assed.
Jack the other day to me, because all I do is because I'm part of the fucking problem, I buy the disposable ones, and Jack goes, you know they do refillable ones now, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not committing to it. It's like, you've been on them for 3 months. Yeah, but if I buy the replaceable ones. I'll just, I'll be on them all the time. Whereas I'm going to give these up the day after tomorrow, and that's also true tomorrow and every other day after that.
Quit on Monday.
Because the amount of nicotine in this compared to, I don't know if this is true, but the rumors are that like one of these is like 4 packs of cigarettes. Compared, like, just the nicotine wise.
Yeah.
Not damage to your body, but nicotine. So giving up these compared to giving up cigarettes.
It's nonsensical when it's like, oh, there's 600 puffs in this, and then like a day later it's fucking flashing and there's no coming fruit, and I'm like, did I fuck? Have I just been breathing on it like a second lung?
Have you read the box on an Elf bar? It says like if you're using this as an alternative to smoking, take like 15 to 20 puffs instead of a normal cigarette.
Oh,
Get to fuck.
Nah, you can't do that.
This is,
You cannot do that.
this is like the tobacco. To be fair, to
Anybody's just having 15 puffs of a fucking Elf
the
bar.
tobacco industry is like the war industry, where they're like, all right, you ended the war here. Okay, now we're moving into defense. Like, we're going to find a way to still do the thing we're doing. And I just think that the government should at one point be like, right, yous are all dicks, and all you've done for 70 to 100 years is do dicky things. Whatever your next plan is, no. We want to build a dog shelter. No. Right? Because I know that's good, but I know there's going to be something fucking evil in there. Like, what are you doing in that fucking dog shelter that... Marlborough. Why is there a Marlborough dogs and cats home? And what is in there?
Marlborough. Speaking of dogs and cats homes,
Oh, here we go.
I found me in. I went to a doggy daycare to chat to the owners about the.
And just be like, just to let you know, turf war started.
I went to Yappy Days. So it's called Yappy Days. It's a good one, isn't it? It's a good one. And,
I don't think it's as good as something at once, but it's good. It's not one we had. So
Jared Christmas texted us before saying the dog's frolics. It's a good one, isn't it?
that is good.
And Danny Mac texted us saying pause indoors.
Yeah, it's more
Tells
sweet.
you what it is.
Yeah,
I don't like the innuendo ones as much as I like the wholesome ones.
Dog frolics is wholesome. though.
It is. I mean, it's good, isn't it? So anyway, I went to the Yappy Days. All the puns are taken, man. Like, you get a good pun, you Google it, there's one fucking dog walker or something. Anyway, I digress. I got in, and she had them, like, on the indoor bit, and they had the outdoor bit with AstroTurf, right? And she opened the door, and 16 dogs run out, and they're, like, fucking mad to greet you. So, like, fucking come up, right? Some big dogs, some red setters, like a fucking, I think there's a Staffy in the mix and that. I still
It's mad what your definition of a big dog is based on your dog. A Staffy turned up.
No, but that was one of the smaller ones. But you look at that and gone, all right. Yeah. I hope you're one of the good ones, right? And you know what? Like I've got a bit of it's mad that I'm going into this fucking trade, considering I've got a bit of an aversion to like dogs that are off leads and that approach you, because I grew up in a fucking council estate. They weren't all cool. Some of that owners were dicks. Right, sometimes they'd be behind a fence and fucking barking like they're going to kill you, and then one day you see a fucking wagon run the street.
I remember.
And you shut yourself. So there's these 16 dogs that I've never met before, I haven't fucking acquainted with, like come up and jump up at us. But because I've spent my last like fucking year or two in the company of a dog, I'm loving them. I'm fucking stroking them and all that, right? But if they want to do us, they can do us. And then one of them bit us. not like hard, it was woofing away. I wasn't giving it any attention, and then like it took a little tug at my trousers.
Aye.
No, hard. It didn't like, but it did. I felt
nip.
a little nip right on the thing, and just give it a little bit of a squirt with a bottle of water. Just go and behave yourself. I was just like, man, imagine they just mauled us. Imagine I'm all our fucking Facebook and we're going to open this place for dogs to play and all that, right? And then I got a dog shelter, doggy daycare.
And just on the CCTV footage is you walking into the sea of dogs like Moses, trying to part them, and then they just overwhelm you, and they all go away, and then there's just a skeleton wearing Jordans.
I just fucking one of them just ripped me throat out. So it was quite funny. I found it amusing. And I've spent the day going and just run people's places, picking up all disused soft play stuff for their kids to use for dogs. Picked up a ball pit on the way here.
Yeah, explain this to me.
I'm going to use the ball pit to fill up with sand. A little sand pit.
Now, when you say ball pit,
It's shaped like a turtle, big turtle. Had to put the seats down in my car to get it in the car. And put that in. We picked up.
put it on his back so it couldn't escape.
Oh shit! I should have done that. I'll be happy doing the street by now. Damn. I thought of that. I went to a coffee shop and picked up a sink.
Eh?
They were getting rid of that sink.
God, you really are throwing the kitchen sink at this.
And scene.
But like as seen on WhatsApp. And seen.
2 blue ticks. And scene. Kaya's typing. Message doesn't come through.
That's from now on. That's how I'm using and seen.
And seen.
Whenever somebody does a joke that doesn't land, I'm going to be like, and
Scene.
2 blue ticks.
And ghosted. I like that a lot.
Look, I'm excited to see whatever the fuck happens with this adventure that you're on.
We visited a coffee guy.
But
Famous
and
coffee
this
machine.
isn't me trying to add my negativity to.
Me ask some questions, poke some holes in it, so we can paper over them.
Your big thing is that, and I agree with you 100% on this, is that with this business adventure, especially with the start, that you shouldn't be. The phrase we've been using is Natalie shouldn't be WestJetting it.
Yes.
And what that means is years ago, we all went on holiday to Hawaii. And
No expenses spared.
know-
Apart from the expense that was spared.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, hey, Netflix specials had just come out. I was at a very.
We've just done a massive tour.
And it was like, I'm going to pay for, I'm all expenses out. I'm going to pay for a villa in fucking Hawaii. We're all going to go there and we're all going to fucking hang out. Me and Cara.
Get yourself there. We're going to be here then.
Yeah. We flew out fucking premium economy. Natalie's brother came out. Martin and Mia came out. And we all
Supper
got
was
there.
there.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't there because he was part of Natalie's plans, which was, we can save 75 pence
Aye.
if we add 19 hours to the trip
Go.
and 3 separate stops.
Go via a completely different country.
Because Natalie's a bargain hunter, which
Yeah.
is, again, it's not a negative thing. It's the exact type of person that you need in your relationship. The reason I'm so glad that Cara is the frugal person she is because I'm the type of dick that will go, hey, just to let you know, I'm suddenly into Jordans. By the way, I've spent $1,000 on shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
And
so-
she's like, I could have probably found you them somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that we have those people, but I agree that Natalie can't question this because at the start, with what this business is you want it to be fucking Instagrammable.
It's got to be a good space for the people. You're not just dropping your dogs off, and the dogs don't care if stuff's like
Yeah,
tatty.
I-
Dogs don't give a fuck about the aesthetic.
No,
They
but-
just take a fuck about the toys and the nourishment and
But the
the
people
fun.
that are going to get more people into the business are the ones that are taking these middle class
Yeah.
people that love their dogs so much that they're being like, look at the fun my dog had today at this place, hanging out with all his fucking friends. I'm fully with you on you cannot fucking scrimp. So can you explain to me again why you bought a 2 foot by 3 foot sandpit from Facebook Marketplace?
Oh, because the items are going to be very disposable because dogs chew shit, right? So something that's done for a kid, right? Something that's done for a kid, or it might even be pristine, but the kid just doesn't play with it anymore and we need space, right? So you just get these secondhand things that are perfectly good for a dog. Like it's perfectly dog. This was in somebody's house for a bit. The kid got bored of it, and now it's kind of gone up in the loft. So like we'll just give it away for free on Facebook Marketplace. So now you've got this like in good nick kids soft play item that's going to get chewed up and probably replaced after 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, that does
Right,
make...
so you've just got a disposable turnover of. There's going to be just a family cycle of soft play stuff, and it'll be stuff that like kids use, kids get bored of, get put on Facebook Marketplace, end up at my place, get chewed to fuck, and then end up in landfill.
Yeah.
So it's just like a second.
We're online, so just do that again, but say recycled at the end.
Okay, right. We're gonna take the kids' shit. We're gonna get a dog to chew it up, and then we're gonna put it in the fucking blue bin.
Yeah. Blue bin.
That's the recycle bin of mine. That does cardboard actually on mine. So
It's green where we're from. Fucking
green does plastic in my gaff.
blue's glass in it. How the other half?
Nah, you
live
put the
in?
glass in with the plastic in my gaff. Aye,
Plastic and glass.
plastic and glass.
How does the magnet get them?
Metal as well. There you go. Does that answer your question?
Middle of Glasgow doesn't even do recycling,
Oh yeah,
like at all. Like
I
you
heard
can, you can only get rid of glass bottles. Everything
By
else,
fucking yeeting it at a hand.
no, like legit. Our entire building of 25 flats, you only
Mm-hmm.
have a general waste bin and a glass bin.
Aye. I haven't figured it out. I live out south.
God, see, this is why Edinburgh's better.
Think it's better.
I don't think it's better.
You didn't even have fucking bin men for about 6 weeks doing the fridge.
Aye. I remember there was a time when we were.
So hold on. Would you have went to fucking Henley's World of Toys to get the fucking sandpit for the dogs?
No. I think where I was coming from was more if there's going to be a fucking, because in my head you want it to be the most Instagrammable place. Like I feel like the sandpit turtle would just stand out there and just clearly be a kid's sandpit toy there. Whereas in my head I'm like, why not just have like, you know, and this is why it's wrong, but like a sandy section, dig a hole in the floor. It's you own.
Aye.
You know how? Where does your jurisdiction in this thing?
Just bring in a fucking what do you call them? The fucking vibrate and jump up and doing jackhammer.
Oh, pogo stick.
Pogo stick. Bring in a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Sharpen the end of it. Bite down on a vibrator. Turn it on to max. And then, you know, get some sand. Fill the hole. We'll have even stuff like, we'll get tyres and fill it with like pine cones, stuff will run in. There's going to just be loads of like shit like a day. We'll make it look nice.
Are you gonna have
These little slalom poles.
Aye. Are you gonna have like, you know how, have you ever been on one of those? It's normally at like rock climbing places, right? So you can climb all the walls, but then at the top of the rock climbing place is the chance for you to climb on things in the air. So you're attached to a harness from something, and you go on a sort of
Like a zip line.
Yeah, like a zip line, but then you climb the thing. Here's my thing. Let's say you have a zip line in the roof of the thing, but you connect it up to like a Scalextrics thing, and then just have that attached to a dangly bit with like a fake cat on the end that just runs round constantly. Yeah, just because I think the best thing for all these dogs is to learn that they can catch and kill cats at the end.
Aye, we should let them catch a cat for once. Just corner them. One thing I don't think this is probably I've got to be careful not to be too boring with it.
Well,
with
I
right?
guess you can't do too much to the place because it would be a shame if you lost your deposit.
Pause it. Ah, sit. Deposit.
And scene.
I made a spreadsheet of the ceiling.
Eh?
You know the ceilings, suspended ceilings. They've got the tiles in.
Aye.
Mate, I don't know if this is just me or if this is anybody, right? But you know when they've got the lights and the lights and the lights on the fucking suspended ceiling. So mostly it's just a panel, and then it's a light, and then it's a panel. And then what's happened is they haven't been able to put the light in there because this is a sprinkler. So they just put the light in there like a buck tooth.
Oh, and then it fucks up the entire fucking pattern.
Fucking hate it.
Yep.
I'm looking up at the ceiling going, oh, I can see what you did. You need a light there, but you fucked it up because of the sprinkler. Mate, I went on the spreadsheet. I changed all the fucking cells to the shape of the tiles, right? Some of them...
Hold on, I know exactly where you got this from knitting.
That's how I made my knitting patterns. I made a fucking knitting pattern at the
Who
ceiling.
knew that this knowledge would have come so far into the fuck? I remember you sitting on
I
a
could knit that
train.
ceiling. I swear to God, I could knit that ceiling. I've wrote the code to knit the ceiling. Because I drew the Mario. Because if you put the pixels in, if you make them square and put the pixels in for Mario and then knit it to really squat Mario, but if you put it into an Excel spreadsheet and you fucking stretch the cells proportionally and then you knit, then it's a fucking right size Mario. Anyway, I did this with the ceiling tiles and I put them in, and so then anything that couldn't be used, I just blocked out as like black on the white tiles, and I made the pattern that goes through with the light, so that when you look up, it's a white ceiling with fucking patterned lights that work in the right pattern.
The OCD person inside me and the people out there with actual OCD, thank you greatly, because that is like
the devil's in the detail, man.
Whenever you see little things that don't match a pattern out there, there's always one part of my brain that goes, there's something secret in there because this is a computer game. Like, that thing stands out so noticeably that it is important to the quest that I'm on.
You can interact with it.
Yeah.
Aye.
And you know when people coming in with their dogs being like, there are a bunch of treats out there.
Aye. That was
No,
it.
no, why would there be?
If I
Why is
ju-
that a place?
If I jump up at that and hit it with a head, does a coin come out? And then next thing you know, I doing first aid on someone. So that's why I did a bit of that today.
Oh, good. My day, we took Kaelin swimming, and then
He must be like Michael Phelps at the minute, like he's fucking
you call my son an American cunt.
no Thorpe pedo.
And scene. There was this never happened. So there's times when, look, I'm not gonna fucking lie. Cara does. I'm home all the time. Cara does not. She does most of the parenting technically, in the sense that if somebody does 55% of something and you do 45% of something, even that's almost 50-50, somebody definitely does more in that. I definitely fucking contribute. I'm here for most of the fucking, most of the time during the year. When I am here, I'm there all day, except for certain evenings when I'm away gigging, and then it's just like, I'm really present in my child's life. But despite how much effort I put in, doesn't reduce how much, obviously, effort the mother puts in comparison with, you know, there's times when he wakes up in the night that I can go through and try and get him to sleep. And there's sometimes...
Don't want to, you're tired.
Yeah, I'm not, bitch, come on.
I haven't had my coffee. You getting there? You don't even drink coffee, you might as well.
Yeah, and if you were to drink coffee, it'd go into your poop and he'd be up all night. So don't have any. Go through there tired and miserable. And while you're in there, could you put the baby monitor on mute just so I can't hear you crying alone in there?
Yeah, I was trying to smother it with a pillow last night.
Yeah. Because I thought it was you.
I didn't realise you got it. I thought you were just singing lullabies next to us.
This bitch. So, like, during the day and stuff, there's, like, Kara's been ill for the past 2 weeks. She's just not horrendously ill, but just not at 100%. So anytime I can, I'm just like, hey, I'll take him out on a walk. And that's not a hard job. I stick him in a fucking pram. I stick on the Wheel of Time audiobook. I walk around for about an hour. He falls asleep 15 minutes into the thing because I'm so boring. And it gives him a nap. It gives her time to nap. And then we, you know, co-parent for the rest of the day. But there's times when I can see how tired she is and she needs time off that I'll go and take Kaelin away to give her a break. Now, she doesn't do this with me because I don't need it, because my breaks are touring. My breaks are the full sleeps I get through the night.
Yeah, this podcast.
Yeah, there's so many, and man, and I'm like,
Alec rounds a golf you play.
golf. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I go out on the fucking Peloton for half an hour? There's so many times when I take breaks.
You're just in here vaping.
God, you are out of breath. You must have. Yeah, you're not sweating. No, I'm tired, but I'm not weak.
Only left-handed people sweat.
So there's even during the day when Kaelin naps, like he naps because this isn't a kid that just goes to sleep for a nap. He needs to be sort of put on the poop, laid down, Carol play music and get him to sleep. And during that time, Cara does kind of have to just sit near him so that he can smell her. My point is, she does way more. So I never ask for any fucking free time or anything like that because
Your free time's dictated.
But also, why would I? Why would I can see what she's doing, and I'm not willing to do any less than I'm doing because I know I am doing less. Today, though, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take Kaelin to see my friend with her parents," and man, for 3 hours today, for the first time in like, it's different when it's in your own house. Mm-hmm. Like, she took him out for fucking 3 hours, and I was like,
You've never had the house yet, so you had an empty.
I had a fucking empty, man. And I was like, what do I do?
I put the porn on the big telly, and it's there, fucking.
Well, I mean,
your left hand, so it feels like I'm doing it, and Cullen wax in.
Colin's away as well. So normally, if she's away with Kaelin for like an hour in the day, me and Colin will just play FIFA. Colin wasn't here today, so I'm like, it's genuinely just me. So I ended up working out that I'm just a boring adult because all I fucking did was I was like, do you know what really needs? And I've been saying this mentally in my head for a month now. I'm like, The second I actually get a free hour and a half, I'm going to go through my closet, find the stuff that I don't wear, and donate that. So also just so I can buy new clothes, because you know when you go through your cupboard
I hate it, me.
and you're looking
I
for
go
clothes
through all the shit I don't wear until I find one item that I
that
will
you
wear.
do wear.
Aye.
And I'm just like, I'm done with that experience. I want to
it's
be able
horrible.
to go in and be like, oh, I wear this. I wear this.
So some stuff is just made the cut, did it? I haven't seen that before. Did you get it right? We'll give it one last whirl.
Whoa.
Little trail shift.
turns out that I had a 1 day drawer. like literally I bought some stuff being like, oh, that looks nice. But because my clothes were never organised, there was nothing I could match it with, because it'd be like, my clothes are just in there. Cara does the laundry, and she doesn't fold them, because why the fuck would she fold them? She's doing the laundry and raising a child. But, well, I'm not fucking folding them either. So she, when she gets time, folds away her stuff, puts it away, and when she's not looking, I tip all the clothes she washed into my drawer, and I'm like, close drawer.
Yeah.
Today I was like, I'm going to become a fucking man. I'm going to go through this, sift through all the stuff. Went through, like, I found, you know how I only ever wear the same shit on stage? Levi's trousers, Levi's black shirt. That's just it.
Yeah.
I could tell what year the tour was from by how grey the black shirts and jeans were. like just so faded, because when they're new, they're black.
Oh, so you've like wore them for multiple tours, the same shit?
And the same trousers. But
Yeah.
there's ones where I'm like, I clearly bought these ones a year ago for the last one, because they're still kind of black. But I've clearly also kept these ones here because, let's be honest, they stretch out more than the other ones because they've been through 4 tours with me. But they're so faded. They got fucking holes with them. Man, I have a great day. I also, and sad moment in my life, listen to my audiobook. I'm on the last book of Wheel of Time. I'm on book 14 of my reread of Wheel of Time. There's one chapter in it which is, on an audiobook, is 12 hours long. And on a Kindle, this one chapter is 8 hours long. It's the last battle, as you can tell. It's a big fucking chapter. I'm folding my clothes, I'm putting them away, I'm organising them into colour. I'm just in a fucking bit of bliss. Right? I know I'm not subjecting Cara to anything. I can do this at whatever rate I want to do. And the audio narrator goes, chapter 37, the last battle. And I went, ooh. Silently to myself.
You chewed like a train while folding clothes.
Man, I think I stopped folding. I went, ooh. Man, I got properly fucking buzzing, man. I was so excited. And then she comes back. Kaelin hasn't fucking slept with her. My parents came round because we've not seen them, and they obviously like seeing their grandkids. The reason I want to bring this up is just if there are any, this is one of the only true bits of advice I have for parents out there. I don't, or I try to avoid offering advice because there's 1,000 ways to do it right, and there's 1,000 ways to do it wrong. And just because you think a certain way is right doesn't mean the other way is wrong. Said the man that rallied against home births. But there's, I'm trying to be better at being like, just let people do it the way that they want to fucking do it. But the best bit of non-offensive advice that I can give to new parents, 2 months before your first child is born, organise to go out with your parents for a meal and organise to go out with your in-laws for a meal. And just
Say goodbye to them.
and
Just say goodbye to who they were.
just mentally in your heads, just go, this is the last time
I'm the important one.
I will. Yeah. This is the last time this relationship is ever going to exist in that format.
Because I'm playing
ever
the
again.
championship next season. I'm going to be watching that Premier League team that I spawned.
Man, you'd fucking think. Look, I love how much my parents love my son. I love how much Cara's parents, like when we're away on tour, Cara will go up to Aberdeen to visit her family just so she's not alone, just so her fucking family can see the cook, because they're all the way up there. It's easier for my parents to see Kaelin than it is for her parents to see. But every time she's with her parents, I'm like, send me photos, not of Kaelin, but of your parents with Caleb.
Aye.
Because I want to see that.
Aye.
Like nothing is, it's so fulfilling to see the people you love.
Loving.
Love, I can't, it's indescribable levels of just deep rooted fucking joy. But that also used to be for me. And you'll just
You're gonna have to get out with that, like.
you get over it quick because the feeling's so much better. But it's something you don't think about.
You don't realise you didn't know you were saying goodbye to that.
I didn't know, but bringing my child to the world, that when my parents walked through the door,
They look past you.
No, don't even look back. Palm my face away. Like, unless I'm holding Kaelin, they won't make eye contact with me. And it's good. Like, what it grows into is absolutely worth it. But I think it's just very important for expecting parents to just, because it's so funny.
You would have felt that if you would grow up in Blythe and you come home with a Chinese or a pizza or something. We get trained for that. Come in with a bag of cans. And see.
I mean, that's a good place to actually end it. I think we've hit the hour mark as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this weekend. God, how much better is this tour?
We're on week 6 of the tour and it doesn't feel 6 weeks in. It feels like we're right at the very start. Like, it doesn't feel like we've been touring for 6 weeks.
No, because
I've spent most of it at home.
Yep.
Try and test that pots of paint on the walls.
We worked so hard for so many years and toured so consistently for like 2/3, 3/4 of the years for the past 10 years, so that when, well, at least for me, I was like, the second I become a dad, I'm grafting hard, so that the second that real life starts, I can slow the fuck down and, you know, slammed on the brakes in terms of what the fucking tour is. But my fucking God, what a different type of tour it is.
It's great.
It's so good, man. I'm so excited for. We've got a lot of time. We're doing Tartu, we're doing Tallinn, we're doing Riga, we're doing
Vilnius, Kaunas.
No Kaunas.
We're doing 5. We're doing 4.
We're doing 4.
All right, and then
Saturday to Tuesday.
Great, and then we'll come back. There's a tune match on, then we're going to Manchester.
Yeah. And
that's the biggest chunk of gigs that we'll have done.
Yeah.
5 days in a week. And then we'll have like 3 weeks off.
Oh no, we did. The Germany was 10 days in a row.
I mean, since the start of this tour.
Oh yes,
that was picking up from the last year.
Yeah, sorry.
It will pick back up. Like obviously, we're enjoying this bit. Like we will end up going away for 6 weeks and stuff to Australia and bits and bobs. There will be bits of territories where you cannot just pop in and you've got it there.
Nice.
But like as regards for this bit, we've been doing it with our slippers on.
Oh,
it's been class.
And it's been so good.
And I think it shows as well with not just our performances, but like how like we're cracked when we're going out with people afterwards.
What? And
we're
also,
not
man,
it's not a game face. You're actually having a good time.
I was thinking about this the other day. Where was it? I think it was Germany, but you might be able to correct me. Where was it on the fucking X tour where we did that podcast where I didn't speak for like the first 15 minutes and then it was just me?
Falling out with us.
No, I remember that one. That was at the end.
That was about the same seats.
Yeah.
You were putting that to bed.
This was the X tour. It was the one where I was just so very clearly at the end of my fucking tether with still 3 months to go. I remember that podcast sitting in that hotel room because you're like, we have to fucking release a podcast. And it was the last thing I wanted to do because the last thing I wanted any of our listeners to experience
was to see how you were really feeling.
Yeah, which was me.
It's an authenticity. Some of these people, like I'm saying, this podcast. One thing is like it's just brain chewing gum. Another thing is like they've lived my life with her.
Aye,
like marriages, fucking breakdowns, the fucking works. So it's like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
that authenticity is like they've been through that with her. That's why we're taking them on the road. Like they're getting to come on this fucking peculiar life.
Aye. The juxtaposition to that feeling of I don't want to talk about any of the 6 countries that we've been to in the past 7 days and any of the great gigs we had because all I can tell you is I don't want to do this job anymore. I'm very, very sad to going to. God, I'm excited to go into. Like I know I'm interested because because Caelan's getting so much more. Every day he becomes better, which is an amazing thing to consider, since the previous day he was perfect, and then the next day he saw something, like, I'm a bit gutted that I'm going to miss bits of that, but I'm also, part of me is like excited about missing him in a way, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's, I don't think that's something that Cara would ever relate to. I think that's a specifically dad thing there. Which is, man, it's nice to miss someone. It's nice to.
You don't get to have the
missed.
feeling of being reunited if you don't go away.
Man, when I come back from fucking tour, whether it's from a fucking day or whether it's from fucking 4 days or 10 or whatever, when he sees me out that fucking door and his face fucking lights up, I'm like, regardless of how sad I was for the past 4 days, this is.
Yeah.
Oh.
The feeling of like what you're going back to is just so much better.
Aye.
You're not just going back to like your fucking. Like, if imagine you're just coming back and you're just single and you're going into your flat and your fucking house is exactly how you left it, and like
the old tours.
and you're going back and just going, ugh, this money doesn't mean shit.
You get back
Yeah,
home,
the
you're
la-
like,
the
all
laughter
right,
of
I guess I'm
strangers.
fucking Scottish pussy tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh well,
I guess I'll go shag someone from Edinburgh.
we're saying that like we didn't marry Scottish lasses. That was my level. We found my level. Yeah, so we'll see you in Europe. This goes out on Monday as well, doesn't it? So
Yeah, so if you...
oh, this is a public episode. Soppit's gonna hear it and then ring me up to kick off with something. I'll pay me phone to you with the sound system.
Oh, right. I didn't know if you knew that.
What did he phone me about? He fucking out. Like, it's because to him, he's like, and as well, it's fucking sometimes months ago when he's caught up on it. I mean, he's up to speed now, but he'll be kicking off about something I said ages ago, and I'm trying to remember saying it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't say that. I was wrong.
Well, I mean, with the...
But he's got a direct link to the podcast to put me in my place.
We took Caelan out for swimming. It was Cara's turn to go into the swimming class with him, so I fucked off to do some shopping. And while I'm shopping, Soppit phones me up, and I'm like, man, Soppit only ever phones me. He's not someone that just phones for a fucking pleasure. He's someone that's like, hey, I'm in town. Hey, here's the thing that I think. So Soppit is an efficient phone caller. Right? It's fucking. So I'm like, you know what? This isn't going to be a fucking 10-minute conversation. This isn't going to be a 5-minute conversation. This is going to be Soppit saying one of 3 things. 1, I'm in town. 2, there's a new batch of weed. 3, send me a picture of your dick. So only 3 reasons Soppit will ever phone me, right? So I'm like, it's one of those.
4, will you stop mentioning weed? I've got a real job. You can't get into bother.
And I go, hey, gorgeous man, because I love saying loving things to Soppit just to see how he reacts. And he screamed at me for 4.5 minutes.
How was the sound quality?
He fucking screamed at me, and to the point where, so when my parents were in tonight, turns out my dad's cousin does home entertainment systems and sets up everything. So I was like, all right. But my dad, when I was telling him this and just laughing about it all, he was like, I listened to the episode of the podcast and I get what you were saying. And I was like, really? I want to expect my dad to be on my side. Like, once
Dad's fucking deaf though.
Let's see where this goes.
Once you two were against me, I was like, in the moment I was like, I'm probably wrong here, but I'll still fucking defend my point, because I'll fucking defend my point, and I've been living this way, and, you know, fine. And then Soppit calls, and I'm like, all right, well, that's the scales tipped there. That's that done. And then Dad was like, oh, I get where you're coming from, because here's the thing, right? You'll watch porn without the audio, but you'll not listen to the audio of porn without the...
Maybe she's been desensitised by porn. I think that's what's happening. That's what your dad is going. She watched too much porn.
I always have the subtitles on in porn. Like that little voice. And then he puts his penis inside of the woman.
Well, not even the subtitles, but the audio accompaniment for like people. Damn.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Slots and Uppies on the Road. If you want to see us on tour, danielslots.com.